And today's gratuitous food shot is Japanese style steak and rice. Hi, so even though I'm all on my own for this quarantine Christmas, I found a place to order in a roast chicken, so I thought I'd at least make an effort with Christmas dinner this time. Thank you to the Japanese government for this gift of corn. A little bit of this, a little bit of that. Yeah, I don't have an oven, it's not going to be roasted. We usually stir-fried our veggies anyway, it just tastes a lot better. Hey, oyster sauce is traditional in our family, okay?
The chicken is here.
Oh, lovely. These taters are meant for a stew, but that's fine.
Well, alright.
There we go, not too terrible for a quarantine Christmas. Okay, so that was my quarantine Christmas dinner. Quite pleased with how it came out, especially considering you can't really buy potatoes in Japan in Japanese supermarkets. Those ones were meant for putting in nikujaga, like beef stew. And yeah, going to America, spending my birthday there was actually probably the highlight of this year, but that wasn't very difficult. So I made a video at the end of 2019 about how that year hadn't gone especially well. No, how little I knew. So yeah, 2020 was also pretty bad, but 2021 has been super awful. So yeah, I'm going to make a video about that, how fun. So obviously this is going to be, first world problems, like nothing I'm going through is as bad as, people who are in war zones or suffering famine or whatever. That's fair enough. This is my little corner of the internet where nobody else ever comes, so let me, have my little rant. So basically everything that has really sucked about 2021 basically boils down to either it's the pandemic and everyone is having a crappy time, or I've been trying to sell a property in London and kind of put my life on hold for it, and it just keeps dragging on and on. I was hoping it would be finished in February, and now obviously it's the end of December and it's still not done. So basically I'm incredibly lucky and privileged to have been given a flat in London that's mine to do with as I please. And about 2 years ago I decided I wanted to sell it. We put various things in motion, and in about the autumn of 2020 there was a buyer lined up and the selling process began. Basically through bureaucracy and solicitors delaying things, it's taken well over a year and it's still not done yet. And I know how this sounds like it's really not a problem, it's a nice problem to have, but the fact it's just dangling just out of reach and has remained that way for like a year has really, it's taken a toll on my mental health. It actually has. And yes, I know, wow, poor baby, but I thought this would be done around February. So yeah, I actually planned this whole year around this flat sale being done in the winter or early spring, and then being able to use that investment money to set up my whole future life. I even retired from one of my jobs because, my other job, my visa job, that naturally has downtime in spring. So I thought if I leave the other job, I would be able to devote all my time to dealing with this new entire life I was expecting to have. And obviously it didn't happen. There was always something delaying it. The EWS1 forms, the forms for cladding on apartment buildings that have been put into law because of the Grenfell fire. I mean, I understand why the law is there, but it slowed down not one but two different stages of the application, each time for like a month or maybe 2 months. And of course the solicitors couldn't coordinate to make these things happen concurrently. They had to happen consecutively. And there was always another milestone just out of reach. If I'd known it would take over a year, I would have just auctioned the damn thing off, and then I would have made easily as much money from investments during this past year as I would have lost by just auctioning it. But yeah, there was always a seemingly unmissable deadline coming up, and it was going to be done by then. So first it was like the stamp duty holiday, and then the stamp duty holiday got extended, so it was the end of the extension of the stamp duty holiday. That of course just slipped by, but then there was always one more thing to approve, and then that thing got approved, but then there was something else, and then it's continued on like that, and we're still here, and now nothing's going to happen between Christmas and New Year, I'm sure, so the entire year has been spent waiting for this imminent transaction to happen. And it's completely screwed me over, because I've let my living situation go to hell because, I thought I was either going to completely renovate the house or a whole new place. So with those two options in mind, I bought a lot of extra furniture, but that's just sitting around. There's new housing for the pets, but that never got put in place. It was meant to be in a new house design or in a whole new place that I wanted to move to. And I bought lots of things. There's not really a place for them now. There's a place for them either in my vision of like a redone house here or a new house. Yeah, the whole place is cluttered and it's hard to get around, and basically it feels like life is just on hold. That doesn't help. Plus, of course, several houses that I would have loved to have moved to and been very happy in have come and gone, and I wanted to buy them and then I just didn't have the opportunity, so that kind of sucks too. And yeah, for the same reasons, I'm not really cleaning this place as much as I should, so it's just not a very nice place to be living. I've also found the whole situation pretty stressful, and when I'm stressed I tend to stress eat, so it's not just a trip to America that's to blame, but I'm the heaviest I've ever been in my life, and I start dieting and then something else stressful happens. Most recently that was a trip to America planned right when Omicron hit and Japan started clamping down on the borders, and daily there were changes that might mean I had to go and quarantine in a government institution, which I really didn't want to do. So yeah, that diet got scrapped too. Did eat a lot of delicious food in America though. And yeah, there was just so much I could have done if I'd had that money. It was a great year for crypto. It was a great year for the stock market, even though, we're in a global pandemic and everyone predicted economic disaster, and Evergrande might cause a huge global catastrophe in the financial markets just as I want to start investing. Probably, let's face it, right after I actually decide to put money in the market. And yeah, at this stage of my life I really want to be getting established and settled, and all my plans for doing so are tied up with the financial opportunities I'm going to get. But then I don't have those opportunities. In fact, I was really in quite a lot of financial trouble because I'd left one of my jobs thinking a large amount of money was going to be imminent, but it wasn't. So yeah, that plus being much more lonely than I've ever been before because my loved ones are shut out of the country and it's really hard for me to go and see them as well. This year has been a tough one. Of course, there have been some highlights to the year. Going to America was amazing, especially spending my birthday there with my partner. I could meet my partner there. It's impossible to meet here in Japan, but possible to meet in America, so that's what we did for my birthday and had a great time. I was there on a business trip for my new job. That's another highlight. Basically, I've got a new job working for a cryptocurrency company, and it's really exciting technology, and if there are more opportunities in future to be able to travel around the world, going to cryptocurrency conventions or making new business contacts, that will be great. Of course, that's reliant on Japan easing up its travel restrictions again, and the rest of the world, of course, so we'll see how this Omicron situation goes. Hopefully it really is much milder and just becomes endemic and nobody really cares about it anymore, and that's the end of the COVID-19 coronavirus, but it's too early to tell, as is painfully apparent when you're looking at government measures being put into place very quickly based on the spread of this new variant. But yeah, happy in this new job, some really great people on the team, some of whom I just met in the States for the first time and really enjoyed doing that. And then there's some other members of the team I have met before and some I've never met but look forward to meeting in future. Obviously, when it comes to cryptocurrency companies, it's not always guaranteed that the company is going to have a lot of longevity, but yeah, I've got a very good feeling about Railgun. That's the name of the new company, by the way. And then the Olympics in summer, they were a highlight as well. I actually really enjoyed myself. I made a video about that. It wouldn't have been that much fun, and obviously I was well aware of the controversies, the fact that it maybe shouldn't have been held during a pandemic. The IOC's behaviour was reprehensible in some of the time. They seem to be putting profit over human life, which obviously isn't ideal. But I got to be there when Japan's men's epee team won the gold medal. I love epee fencing. It's one of my favourite sports. Well, probably is my favourite sport. But being there, being part of that celebratory atmosphere, some sports celebrities coming backstage, mingling with them, and being amongst people who were really, really overjoyed at this unprecedented achievement for Japan. Yeah, that was really special, and that will always be a good memory for me. But yeah, these two big positive points, 6 months apart, they don't really make up for the rest of the year and how I felt just like I'm in limbo, not really liking myself, not really liking my situation, not really liking my life and where I feel like I'm at, but at the same time knowing it can and will all change when solicitors just stop being solicitors. And you know, this deal that we were hoping would take maybe 3 months after a seller was found, it doesn't need to take 13, 14 months, it really doesn't, but here we are. I do though feel, I'd say, cautiously optimistic about 2022. God, 2022 sounds so futuristic, like there should definitely be flying cars by now. And hoverboards. Where's my hoverboard? Yeah, obviously everyone was starting to feel more optimistic about the pandemic situation before Omicron hit. It really felt like around this Christmas or New Year, border restrictions would start to ease, everyone would be able to travel a lot more easily, and that didn't really pan out that way. But I do feel like we could get back there quickly. I mean, yes, of course, there may be more variants to come, but yeah, here's hoping it goes the way of SARS pretty soon and everything gets back to normal. We can travel again, people can come to the country again, I can go and see my family again for the first time in over 2 years. I am, even though currently I'm confined to my home because of how serious the virus is right now, I am feeling optimistic that that's going to happen in the coming months. Then the flat sale should get finished. I'm really looking forward to that. I don't know exactly what I'm going to do right now. I'll be looking at the possibility of moving. There's actually I'm considering a fresh start, moving away from Tokyo and going to live in Nara. I'd have to leave my band behind. That's the main thing that makes me pause there, because I do like my band and they're good friends to me. So it would be a shame to have to leave them behind. I mean, I could tell them that I would come back for gigs and stuff on the Shinkansen, but I think for rehearsals and things they just want to find a new drummer, and that would be a shame. But yeah, I found my dream home in Nara, and if nobody buys it and I can afford it, I'm very tempted to just go there. I wanted to step up the amount of videos I'm making, but I got nice new equipment. I want to make it look better, sound better, be better in general. But of course, all that equipment I don't want to set up until there's a new place to set them up. I bought them with the intention of setting them up in a new office. I've also got a half-built new PC, doesn't have a graphics card yet, doesn't have a CPU yet. And those are all things I intended to get done with the house renovation or the move, both of which are contingent on getting the money from the flat sale. So everything is just on hold, videos are on hold, I'm not writing like I should be. I just don't feel like writing when I'm in such an unstable situation. It just doesn't flow right. So yeah, I haven't had a book published for 2 years now. I'd have to basically start from scratch and find a new publisher, because my 3-book deal with that publisher was done and they didn't want to look at my next work or anything. So yeah, that plus the album I recorded for a band that I was really excited about, that didn't get done. It was supposed to all get finished this year, but that also keeps getting delayed over and over again. So I really feel kind of stuck in a rut, When I came to Japan like 6 years ago, I thought everything was going right. I had my books were getting published, I was in a signed band, I was finishing up my doctorate, I felt like I had purpose, I was happy with the way I was presenting myself, I was thinner then, more confident. I'm not there anymore, and things haven't gone the way I hoped they would. So this year, just feeling like it was, in limbo, it hasn't helped. So yeah, I do have this, I guess, optimistic vision of, I get my flat sale money, I can buy my dream house, I move there, or I find an even better house, or a house that's just as good but it's here within reach of Tokyo, and I can stay in the area, stay with the band, and then I move there, I set everything up the way I want it. I'm not, ashamed of my living situation, I'm not ashamed of myself anymore, and then I'll have more time and more money to travel more, I'll see my family more, my partner and my family can come to Japan and visit me in a home I'm proud to show them. I start writing again, I get another publishing deal, the bands I'm in start being active again, getting some progress in the kind of band trajectory. You know, maybe my old band with the record deal stops talking about album 2 and actually does it, or the prog band I joined here in Japan actually finishes that album, which I think will be really good and gets it out into the world. Yeah, I think that there's every chance that things can start going well again. And yes, I'm aware a lot of it is like my own mental attitude. If I just do things better, things will go better. I just feel like the weight of these two situations keeps pushing down on me, you know. The pandemic is restricting things, and the fact that this flat sale keeps stretching out forever, and all my plans that are contingent upon it are just put on hold forever. These things really have been weighing me down. Damn it, I was supposed to be ending this on a positive note. Anyway, yeah, let's end it there. Next video should be happier. I don't know when it will be. Like I said, I kind of don't feel like making videos anymore until I've got a nice setup with the equipment that I've got to make nice videos with. And that doesn't happen until I move or I renovate the house, and that doesn't happen until the flat sale happens. So yeah, I don't expect many videos, not like anyone really watches these anyway. But yeah, I've got a student to teach coming up, and I've got to continue the joys of home isolation, and yeah, I've just had a quarantine Christmas, and it's time for a quarantine New Year. So yeah, I'll leave it at that. Bye for now.